in that American political tradition will somehow modify the extremists.
Well, yeah, I mean, Wolf comes from a long tradition of folks that start with, at least say, someone like Lewis Hartz in the 50s. And Lewis Hartz says that Americans, because America never had feudalism, it never developed a genuine aristocratic conservative tradition to defend feudalism, but it also never developed a socialist left, a genuine socialist left. And so as a result, we all think we're middle class, we're all liberal, we all believe in private property and individualism, etc. And so if you think of those fundamental principles, which Republicans and Democrats, Greens to Libertarians never really basically disagree on, then there seems to be a lot of grounds for commonality. And to me, it seems that a lot of the heightened political rhetoric is because the parties have, your ideology and your party have now aligned, and that creates a structural incentive for people for the Glenn Becks and the Keith Olbermanns of the world to ratchet things up. It doesn't just give good ratings, it serves the interests of the parties. And until that tendency breaks, and I don't know what historical event or moment will cause it to break. 9/11 didn't do it, so I don't know. So my expectation is much more polarization over the next few decades or so. Which, yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Can you give us a couple of ideas how to change the dialogue here in Arizona, where we got outvoted 2-1, and the extremists are
all right.
taking over in Phoenix?
Yeah, all right. So I'm in an organization called the Repeal Coalition that wants to repeal all anti-immigrant laws in the state of Arizona, especially SB 1070. And what I think that what we need to do is it's not nearly enough to say no, 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 no to Russell Pierce, who is essentially, as you know, the king of Arizona now. He doesn't need Brewer to sign any legislation anymore. So he's King Pierce. So I think what we do is, first of all, we call him King Pierce. Because we don't like kings in America, right? We call him King Pierce, and we say what Pierce hates. Pierce hates Arizona youth. Pierce hates Arizona. Pierce is destroying the public education system. Pierce is destroying the public university system. Pierce wants to gut the 14th Amendment and deny birthright citizenship to those folks whose parents aren't citizenship. Get ready for that one's coming. That law's coming. He wants to get rid of an important Supreme Court decision, 1982, Plyler v. Doe, that guaranteed a constitutional right for all children to get a free public, to get a public education. So he basically wants to create an entire get ready for that law's coming too. He wants to create an entire class of youth that are outside of, that are essentially gypsies. Within the United States. So I would say King Pierce hates Arizona's youth. Now Russell Pierce is like, no, I'm not a king. I love young people. Some of my very best friends are my grandchildren, right? And once you have him to do that, he's on his heels, and we win. There's a political science term called interpolation. And this guy, Luis Althusser, says if you can get a cop, imagine, have you ever said, you hear a cop say, hey you, you notice how everyone turns around, right? When a cop, and you're like, I didn't do it, I didn't do it, I didn't do it. Althusser says you've been interpolated, and automatically you're on the defensive. Right. Automatically you're saying, cop, I'm innocent, I really was driving 55, or I really didn't spit on the sidewalk or something. And the cop just walks past you and goes to the person he was really looking for. But automatically you're on the defense. The Republicans do an excellent job of interpolating liberals as the devil, and I don't think there's I don't think that liberals do a very good job interpolating Pierce, etc. And I think he's ripe for the picking, frankly. I mean, he's in his district in Mesa is overwhelmingly, black and Latino, or at least for Mesa, and he still wins every time. I think it seems to me there's opportunities.
What's the name of your group?
The Repeal Coalition. RepealCoalition.org. Yes, sir.
You kind of hinted in many of the things that you said, but what do you think the Democratic Party in Washington, D.C. will be doing based upon your thoughts on what extremism is and how to change the agenda in the nation? Because it seems to me that the Democratic Party in Washington, D.C. is not leading the Democratic Party.
Right. Now, given that the Democrats are not going to be extremists, and you should not expect them, the question is, what do you polarize or do you not? It seems to me.
Yes.
Do you mobilize the refusal to compromise? And I would say you look for more scrums. You look for more fights. You're willing to say, I'm not going to vote for Obama's deal with Boehner on the Bush-era tax cuts, and I'm willing to lose, and if that happens. Because what I'm ultimately doing is building a base of people saying, oh, these people are fighters. These people really do stand up for what they believe. And I may not always agree with them, but I respect them. How many times have you heard someone say about a politician, I don't really like her very much, but she stands up for what she believes in, and so I'm going to vote for her despite some, significant differences over policy. People, that kind of courage, Americans love that kind of courage. We love folks like this guy, right? We love this guy because he represents the American individualism serving the common good.
Yes.
We love that. We love that. That's why we love basketball. This is my pet theory of basketball. We love a person like Kobe Bryant, or you might hate LeBron James nowadays, I suppose, if you're from Cleveland. But we love people like that because they express that kind of grace and individualism on the court. But they can't win on their own, can they? They can't win without a team behind them. That's the United States. Individualism mixed with that association and cooperation of others. We love that. But in order to do that, you've got to have people who are the John Waynes or the Kobe Bryants or something, who are willing to stand up and say, this is my position, I'm going to rally people around me. I'll lose this time, but you'll see me again. Palin humiliated the party in many ways. And has she been taking a ding for that? Absolutely not. She's still presidential material. I think there's a lesson there.
Yeah, you can win a lot.
How about one more question? Anyone?
I think we'll win.
Well, I think that was